information about what led to a deadly shooting in St. Roch yesterday. NOPD says Benjamin Camp called 911 to say he killed his girlfriend and buried her body in the backyard. Well, when officers arrived, they did find a woman's body in a backyard on Marigny Street near North Johnson. All of this happening around 5 o'clock Saturday. Camp was arrested on the scene.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again to y'all with another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely wonderful. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers to the Trey King Show family. And much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of Louisiana by way of New Orleans. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Louisiana. Everybody outside the great city of New Orleans. Now, before I start this story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for sending me this story. And also, keep these stories coming. And also, before I start this story, I want to send a special condolence out to the family and friends of Miss Essence Peters, because it's very sad and tragic what happened to this young lady. And now, one thing you got to understand, when you're in a relationship with someone, you're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days, you're going to have your ups and downs, and also you're going to have disagreements and sometimes arguments. But it's how you respond to those arguments and disagreements what set the tone for the whole relationship. As in the case of this story right here, where we have 24-year-old Essence Peters along with her crazy boyfriend, 24-year-old Benjamin Camp, who had an argument and things turned very violent. Now, one thing you got to understand, this right here, some people are not ready to be in a relationship. And I say this for a main reason. And that reason is this right here. Because just because you're a certain age don't mean you know how to love somebody. Say it with me, you all. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean that you know how to love someone. Because if you know how to love someone, you should also know one thing, that you would never do anything to hurt them, because the love will prevent that. But what happened when people go overboard and let their emotions get the best of them? And now, just to give you all a quick background on Essence Peters, she was her dad's only child. And I know he is very heartbroken because I see him on Facebook pouring his heart out. And who wouldn't be heartbroken if they lost their only child in this way? So, sir, my condolences and my prayers go out to you, along with the Bridges and Peters family, and also her mom. Now, I'm not sure if this is her mom only child, but at the same time, you got to understand what the mom must be going through right now. And the mom also has a GoFundMe set up for those who want to donate and help with the burial of Essence Peters. Now, it all went down just a few days ago in the great city of New Orleans, where Essence Peters, along with her boyfriend, got into some kind of argument. So I want to ask you all real quick before we dive deep into the story. What do you think these two individuals was arguing over, and why did that argument lead to someone getting gunned down and also buried in their own backyard? And as you all may know, over the almost 9 years I've been on YouTube, that I have done a lot of stories, but this is one of the first and only few stories I've ever done where the boyfriend or the husband killed his spouse and buried her in the backyard and then called the police and told his damn self. But it's a great thing that tough face Benjamin Camp did. And also, Benjamin, you was lucky to even have Essence Peters. Boy, look at your face. Anyway, let's begin.
He's in jail right now, charged with murder in a gruesome and really shocking crime. Police say he told them he shot his girlfriend and then buried her in the backyard.
Neighbors tell me they are feeling shocked and devastated after learning a woman was allegedly killed by her boyfriend here. NOPD says human remains were found in the backyard of this home on Marigny Street. On Saturday, police discovered human remains during a search after the victim's boyfriend admitted to shooting his girlfriend, according to NOPD.
And now, as the news reporter stated, this whole incident happened because of an argument. And that's why I asked you all a few minutes earlier, what do you think this argument was about that was so deadly and so bad to the point where the boyfriend had to grab a gun and shoot his girlfriend multiple times before burying her in the backyard? Now, one thing you must ask yourself is this right here. Number one, why would a man go that far? And also, why could he have not controlled his emotions? And now what makes the story even more crazy, family, is the fact that Essence Peters was killed June 26th, early that Thursday morning. But Benjamin, dumb evil ass, didn't call the police and confess until Saturday afternoon around 5 p.m., where he called the New Orleans Police Department and confessed to killing and burying his girlfriend in the backyard. Now just think if you was the dispatcher and also the cops on scene, and you happen to go dig in his backyard, and you also happen to come across a body. How stunned would you be? And that's why my heart goes out to these police officers, to the good ones that is, because you just never know what all these people go through on their day-to-day job. Now think about this also. Now, instead of this individual Benjamin Kemp just leaving while they was arguing, because it takes two people to argue. That's what you all must understand. Have you ever seen, unless they crazy, and we see that sometimes also, depends on where you're at, but have you ever seen a person that's supposed to be in a relationship argue with them damn selves? So that's why I tell you all, if one of you all want to argue, it's best for the other person to leave and let them sit there and argue with themselves, because guess what? Sooner or later, that argument is going to turn physical, and then when it gets physical, guess what? It gets violent, and somebody end up dead, as in the case of these stories that I do. Anyway, let's continue.
Family members identifying the victim as 24-year-old Essence Peters. Police responded to the scene Saturday evening around 5 p.m. Now, when officers arrived, they say a man who claims to be Essence's boyfriend admitted to shooting his girlfriend and burying her in the backyard. Police arrested 24-year-old Benjamin Camp. He is facing a second-degree murder charge.
And what makes it even more crazy, family, is the fact that not only did he shoot her one time, but he shot her multiple times. And also heard that after he shot her and killed her and buried her in the backyard, he went inside his home and grabbed her belongings and burnt most all her things up. Now, why would a man, number one, sit there and gun his girlfriend down and kill her and then bury him in the backyard and then go so far to destroy and burn all of her property? So that within itself should show everyone that this man, Benjamin Kemp, did not give a damn about Essence Peters, because there's no way in hell that you can love somebody and do them like that. And that's why I tell you all, a lot of people, young and old, that is, young couples and older couples, because you got some older couples who haven't learned their lesson yet, who haven't learned that it takes two to argue, and also how to diffuse a situation. Because you have to ask yourself, why I'm with this person if all we do is just fuss and fight? What's the purpose? It's best to drop that zero and get you a hero. Anyway, let's close up.
Neighbors telling me they are heartbroken to hear about the tragic loss.
It was shocking to learn about. I wasn't home when it happened, but I was home when I guess it was discovered, and you just never know what's going on a couple of houses down from you. And I feel so terribly for the woman and the family, and it seems like just a horror movie or like a true crime plot because of just how scary it is to bury someone in your backyard.
And now in closing, as the neighbor stated, that you don't really know what's going on behind closed doors inside these people's home. Just because you see them outside one way does not mean it's that way on the inner side of their home. But think about this though. Just imagine if you was one of the neighbors and you seen Benjamin, crazy ass, out there burying a body in the backyard. What would you have done if you would have seen that? I know me, I'm going to drop a dime, I'm going to snitch, I'm going to tell. But at the same time, I want to ask you all one key thing about this story. Why did they charge Benjamin with only second-degree murder?
Police arrested 24-year-old Benjamin Camp. He is facing a second-degree murder charge.
Why did he not get murdered in the first? Because it seemed to me that, number one, this was premeditated because it all started over an argument. So you got to ask yourself this in closing, family. At what point while they was arguing did he decide to grab a gun and gun this woman down multiple times and then bury her? To me, that's a classic case of first-degree murder. But once again, this New Orleans, Louisiana, and sometimes with these murder charges or whatnot, they downgrade these charges. They don't charge these people to the full extent. That's what I think. So let me ask you all this in closing also. Do you think Benjamin deserved first-degree murder, or do he deserve to have the second degree, which is what he is charged with? Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. And one thing about this whole situation for men and women out there, but especially you women, know your worth. Know when enough is enough. And true enough, sometimes there are signs, sometimes there are not. But most of the time there are signs. But you got to ask yourself this right here, because I know I'm talking to somebody today. If you're with somebody and all you do is fuss and fight, and then you're struggling, ask yourself this. What am I gaining by being in this relationship with this person? Can I not do better? You must ask yourself that. Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. If there's anything I may have missed or misinformed, which is not my true intent, please let me know in the comment section, or you can email me and we can talk about it more there. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Also share the video with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed, and I will see y'all soon on next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.